Guys, we are live at Supreme Equincy Area 10 FCT Abuja for the most anticipated program we've all been waiting for. Yeah, MIGIN Award, most influential baggy in Nigeria. Oh yes, I'm so excited, as you can see. It's Garages Alkali, but you can call me Alkali BB. I'm gonna be your red carpet host for today. So join me as I'll be interacting and talking to some persons and to air out their view on this program. Of course, it's first of its kind. Journey through with us. Almighty Panya Baba we've been hearing about. I'm so honored meeting you today, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Today is the most influential baggy in Nigeria award, the MIGIN Award. So, what can you say about this event?
Well, let me first of all commend those that have arranged and organized this event because it's good to extol the virtues of those who have been instrumental to the development of the people. And in this case, the Baggy Nation. It's good to appreciate them, to remember all that they have done in advancing the cause of the Baggy Nation. That will serve as an inspiration to the upcoming young ones, and it will be a remembrance of the legacies, various legacies that they have left for us. So it's really a very, very important event for us today, for all of us as Baggy people.
Okay, sir. Last question. So, what do you have for the younger generation of the Baggy Nation, like we that we are still coming up? What do you have for us?
Well, I want to encourage all the Baggy youth, very young persons, to be committed to contributions towards nation building, towards the advancement of the Baggy cause in this country and beyond. And again, to be very transparent and truthful, because the Baggy man is known with honesty. So we must imbibe that legacy of honesty that our foregone leaders have left for us. If you look at the people that are being honored today, you see that there are so many things that are common about them: sincerity, hard work, and commitment to responsibilities. So we would like the younger ones to learn and to keep the mantle burning. Yes.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Do have a nice time. Thank you. Welcome to the red carpet of MIGIN Award, most influential baggy in Nigeria. It's first of its kind, like I said. Guys, I'll be interacting and talking to one or two persons about this event. So just stay tuned and listen as you watch through what this amazing event has for you. Okay. So today is the most influential baggy in Nigeria award. So what do you have to say about this event?
Very impressive, and it's a very good development because I think this thing has not taken place before. But today we thank God for everything have time, and once it is time, you can't change it because everything has been planned by God. And God, it is time that God says this thing should happen at this time. So we are happy because Baggy Nation is also progressing. Also, people who watch this in the media, they will know that Baggy are really moving forward. So it's a good development.
All right, thank you so much. Do have a nice time.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Nyawosa Isadara. I'm the chairman of this maiden edition.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, I would have loved to even speak in Gbagi because it's about us promoting ourselves. Our brother Dr. Israel, coming back from Europe, came with an idea that there was something he saw in that part of the world that really was striking to his heart, and that is recognizing, for the purpose of history, those that have paid their price and paid their dues for the culture. And he thought it wise to organize something like that for our people. And then he brought us together and we decided it was a good dream and idea. Let's see how we bring it to life. That's why we're here today.
Oh, wow. So, the last question: after this event, do you have any anticipating maybe events likes of you want to bring maybe the younger generation, or reaching out to our elders that have been prominent and they are still prominent in this baggy race?
Of course. If you look at this edition, you will discover that most of the award recipients are those that have passed away. 90% of them are posthumous awards. It shows that it's not just about the living, it's about those that made a mark while they were here. This will serve as an encouragement to those of us that are still young, that are yet to occupy some certain positions of leadership. So that when given the position, even in your home, you can make a mark, so that in some 100 years' time, your name will still be written in the Psalms of Time.
All right, thank you so much. Do have a nice time. So guys, we just spoke to the chairman of this amazing event, Mr. Bendara. Okay, today is the most anticipated and amazing event we've all been waiting for, like in the Gbagi nation, like the MIGIN Award, most influential Gbagi in Nigeria. So what do you have to say about this event?
It's my pleasure to be here today, and I will say it's an honor too to be one of those to be honored today here by our own children, our descendants. It's a pleasure being part of my own culture. Culture, we know, is dynamic, so it changes, and I'm here today to identify with my culture, identify with my people, and then let the whole world know that God has a purpose for, creating human beings in different groups, different languages and different cultures. So I would say it's an honor to showcase, the real indigenous culture of the FCT people.
As one of the awardees of this event today, so like you have been amazing and recognized in this Gbagi nation as a whole. So for the younger generation coming up, for the Gbagi nation, I don't know, we feel that the visibility of this culture is not really well represented by our younger generation. So what do you think that the younger generation of the Gbagi nation should do to be well recognized?
I will say, I will start first of all with the government, that they should give the indigenous people opportunity to showcase what they are made up of, and to also encourage the younger ones to follow suit, because it's one thing for you to have a culture, it's another thing to have an opportunity given to you to be able to showcase your culture, to know that yes, you are here and you have been here and this is who you are. Because I have seen that the opportunity is not really there for our children to be able to grow up in this culture, because they've not been encouraged, especially with the nature of what the FCT is today. It's it will be my honor to request that our children should be given, special recognition, special place, and priorities when it comes to anything to do with even nation building, knowing that the seat of government is here in Abuja. There should be maybe a legislation where you say 30% goes in everything, maybe employment or opportunities, 30%. If it is going to take place here in Abuja, should go to the indigenous people of Abuja. With that, they will be encouraged to remain here because the parents struggle to pay their school fees, because the farms they used to farm before to get money to send them to school is no more there. It's been taken over, and there's no special consideration for them. So you find out that we keep struggling to have them go to school, and in most cases they now go to school in other places where they are more respected than where they are coming from. If they are given opportunity to be able to, read, get employment, they will remain here and learn, from the parents and the grandparents that are still alive. But that opportunity is not really there. So I would say it's an opportunity for me to also speak to government, because my first daughter today is going to be 40 years next year. My own first daughter. So if she's not recognized, she will have to go to where we know that she will be respected. So I think we should be respected. Our children should be seen, given that opportunity, so that they grow up here and then they grow up with the culture.
Okay, today is one of the amazing events, like first of its kind, most influential gbagi in Nigeria. And this has never happened before. So what do you have to say about this event?
No, it is nice. We have to get up because we can't just be a large population for nothing. This is happening, I'm hoping and I'm sure it is the first edition, as I said, and more will be held. And as it goes on, it will improve, and the importance will signify itself in future. Yes, that's good.
Okay, one last question. So after this event, what is your advice as an elder in this gbagi race? Like, how do you think we should come together even after this event, we uniting, especially for the younger generation?
Yes, the younger generation, you still have to dig deeper and see there are many, I know everybody can be mentioned, but you dig deeper, you know more of the gbagi that are around Nigeria. So many people in positions, many people in various places. When you dig deeper, you will get more people, and then we get this solidified organization. It must go on. It must be made to be known in Nigeria.
Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and delight that I welcome you all to this August occasion of the maiden edition of the most influential gbagi in Nigeria. It is indeed a dream come true and a proof that whatever the mind conceives, it can achieve. If achievers must be celebrated, then there must be a platform. MIGIN is a platform to celebrate gbagi finest and an opportunity for effective networking of the gbagi nation. Most influential gbagi in Nigeria is a pan-gbagi initiative for the gbagi nation in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with the slogan, Celebrating gbagi finest. Over the years, we've seen great gbagi talents and heroes who made significant contributions to the development of our dear nation and made the gbagi ethnic nation proud. But unfortunately, only few of these men and women were honored and celebrated by their own kinsmen. Just like the biblical parlance, a prophet has no honor. Have best been honored and celebrated from behind the stage, and And this is where I picked the challenge for a platform where all my sons and daughters who have done exceedingly great in their field of endeavor and contributed their own quota to the development of Nigeria and the mighty nation can be identified, honored, and celebrated periodically. The Viking people as peaceful, accommodating, agriculturalist, artistic, and no-point-speaking people living in the north-central geopolitical zone of Nigeria with a population of about 12 million. They predominantly live in Niger, Kaduna, Nasarawa, Kogi, and the Federal Capital Territory, which makes the Viking ethnic nation. In the past, Viking people were known to be uneducated farmers, but today we have produced our own medical doctors, nurses, lawyers, engineers, pilots, both in the civilian and military, large-scale farmers, teachers, and other professionals in encouraging numbers. This fact has defied the old narratives that the Viking people do not embrace education. In this 21st century, you will find Viking people in all fields of endeavor and in different continents of the world who are doing excellently. Register with the Corporate Affairs Commission as Viking Indigenous People Award Initiative. Most influential Viking in Nigeria MIGIN Award is an offshoot of the registered name and the first of its kind in the history of the Viking nation, where outstanding Viking sons and daughters all over Nigeria come together as an ethnic nation to celebrate their very best with the biggest ovation they deserve. There will be no better time than now, and as is being said, better late than never. For the organizers who celebrated their legacies and achievements, and we have taken it upon ourselves to lead the Viking nation in this direction. Our vision is to be the pioneer and foremost body to identify and honor outstanding Vikings in Nigeria periodically. Mission: to write the Viking story by showcasing Viking heroes and talents via periodic magazine production. Also to create a platform where Viking icons are celebrated and an opportunity for effective networking of the Viking nation. The theme of the day is Unity in the Viking Nation, to be delivered by one of our best and astute academicians, Professor Andrew Zamani, Professor of Clinical Psychology, Director of Institute of Governance and Developmental Studies. We sincerely appreciate you, sir, for your guidance, support, and encouragement to the committee. Today, we have all come to celebrate our Viking legends, icons, heroes, and also want to use this opportunity as stated in our mission to create a platform for effective networking of the Viking nation. Across all fields, with the goal of harnessing our gifts, talents, and potentials of the Vikings for a better Viking nation where our children yet unborn will be proud to have come from in Nigeria. In this role, we have citizens of the Viking nation from 5 states and all classes of the Viking people fully represented: religious, traditional, political class, public servants, and professional groups, Viking indigenous associations, and students. And so this is the right audience to initiate the effective networking of the Viking nation. The Viking Scholars Global Network, headed by our guest speaker, Professor Andrew Zamani, is an example of networking in the academic field. We urge other professional groups to initiate similar networks that unite all Vikings in Nigeria and globally together. We want to recognize the Viking Elders Forum, led by Barrister George Kuche, and urge the forum to keep contributing their quota to national development and be the voice of wisdom that the Viking nation can heed to for direction and guidance. We beckon also on our political to remain firm, steadfast, and unrelenting in the fight and struggles of Viking indigenous groups across Nigeria. We urge you all to keep using your position and influence to empower the youth and to deliver dividends of democracy to the leaders of tomorrow. The youth are grateful for the job opportunities and help rendered to them in their time of need. We next want to thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and the APC-led federal government for giving an FCT indigene a ministerial position for the first time since the birth of democracy in Nigeria. The Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, and the person of Honorable Zephaniah Bitrus Gisalo, and the Mandate Secretary in the person of Honorable Bitrus Lawrence Karaki, the Mandate Secretary FCT Area Council Service Secretariat. We heartily congratulate the duo and urge them to be at their best while discharging their duties. MIGIN Award 2023 Maiden Edition features 23 honorees from Nasarawa, Kogi, Kaduna, Niger, and FCT, cutting across various walks of life. 67% of the award recipients fall under the posthumous category, while the remaining 33% are alive. We have learned our lessons, and as an ethnic nation, we no longer desire to celebrate our finest when they are late, but while alive. Today, we are not here to mourn our recipients of posthumous category, but to celebrate our legends, their legacies and achievements during their lifetime. It is on record that the Mighty Nation has produced the best known potter ever in the history of Nigeria, through one of our daughters who was the pioneer of modern poetry in Nigeria. She came to an international prominence for her talent in the 1950s with help from the famed English studio potter Michael Kajo Babanshako, who had helped launch the Abuja Poetry Training Center along with her in 1954 and spent the following 15 years teaching and learning from Nigerian potters. Ladies and gentlemen, this talented woman is no other than Dr. Ladi Kwale of blessed memory, who died 8 years ago and is the first and only woman to appear on the Nigerian currency. Her portrait is found on the back of the 20 naira note. She served a number of honors in her lifetime, including being a member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire (MBE) in 1963, a honorary doctorate degree from Ahmadu Bello University in 1977, despite not having a formal education. In 1980, the Nigerian government invested her with the insignia of the Nigerian National Merit Award (NNMA), the highest national honor for academic achievement. She was also made officer of the Order of Nigeria in 1981. In her days, she was well celebrated, but today we want to celebrate her as an ethnic nation where she hailed from. Reverend Dr. Payada Bukaba of blessed memory, who passed on to glory 4 years ago on the 19th of October 2019, is a Bible gospel icon and foremost missionary in the then Sudan Interior Mission (SIM), and whose work is well known amongst the evangelicals in Nigeria, and has been the best described as the greatest missionologist of the Evangelical Church winning all Ekwa. Today is a fact that an average Bible Christian man or woman worships with Ekwa, and this can be traced to Baba's missionary work among the Bible people. The Sir Bible one of Kaduna State, paramount ruler of the Bible Chiefdom in Kaduna State, His Royal Highness Dr. Danjuma Bambi, MFR of blessed memory, one of our finest first-class Bible king in the stage. Our late also took on in the works of the then executive governor of Kaduna State, Madam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, described him as a peacemaker, a traditional leader who promoted peace and embraced the diversity that the development and modernity had brought to his kingdom. He also said the late monarch was courageous and outspoken, but always in the interest of peace, unity, and progress. These amongst others are Bible finance to be honored and celebrating today, and by this gesture they are adopted into the Bible Nation Hall of Fame. Most influential Bible in Nigeria MIGIN Awards will be a triannual affair, with the next edition in the year 2026 by the special grace of God. We want to state emphatically that MIGIN Award is by merit and not for sale. The MIGIN committee has an exclusive list of eligible candidates who can be awarded in subsequent editions, and we keep updating the list with our eagle eyes, constantly searching for those who qualify. Some of you seated here today are future honorees, and we urge you to keep the good work you are doing and not relent. We want to challenge our leaders that it is not sufficient to attain influential positions, but most importantly, to make impact while out here and create legacies which you can always be remembered for. The MIGIN Award 2023 is a recognition of our foundational leaders and recognizing the role the honorees play as pathfinders and setting the stage for others who have drawn inspiration from their achievements to climb to the top. Today we are past foundational stage and building on their legacies, and so we are commencing the most special Bible Nigeria Award with those who laid the foundation for us, and in subsequent editions award those who have built and still building the face of the Bible nation to make it more beautiful. All the honorees today might not be known at national level, nor given national awards, but are well known to us in the Bible nation because they have made us proud and our duty to celebrate our beloved sons and daughters who have distinguished and writing their name in gold in the history of The MIGIN 2023 magazine is a one-stop destination to discover biographies of our Baggy finest directly from the source who are recipients of the MIGIN Award. It is our expectation that it will be read all over Nigeria and overseas for every Baggy individual. The committee made efforts and sacrifices to put up this occasion today with no single sponsorship. It is our expectation that our leaders seated here today and other well-meaning Baggy sons and daughters of the Baggy Nation will support this initiative for sustainability and continuity during the launching of our magazine 2023. We are open for sponsorship, support, and partnerships. I want to express my profound appreciation to the committee chairman, Mr. Yawosa Ben Adora, Mr. Destin Yamawo, and other team members for working around the clock to deliver this maiden award ceremony to the glory of the Baggy Nation. Our royal patron, His Royal Highness Pharmacist Luka Panyababa, also of Kano, paramount ruler of the Kano Chief of Nasarawa State, we want to immensely thank you for your support and words of wisdom to the organizing committee. We also want to thank our royal father of the day, His Royal Highness Ishak Uyari JP, Sabagi II of Kaduna State, Osuchukun, and all our special guests and those who have come from other states to witness this August occasion. We wish you journey mercies as you return to your various destination. I beg here below, long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria, long live the Baggy Nation, long live Baggy Indigenous People Award Initiative. Thank you all for coming and God bless our dear nation.
Well, just to say congratulations to the organizers that it's a noble effort. Very many people go through life without knowing their heroes, so that the organizers have chosen to prosecute this program is really laudable. By this, our children are going to get to know who their heroes are, and eventually their children's children, and generations yet unborn, are going to know. This is a peculiar way of writing Baggy history. You wouldn't believe it, but I tell you that once it goes to the shelves and eventually to the archives, it will be a reference point.
Okay, sir. Since you are a lecturer, like a Baggy lecturer in the KFI University, and I can see that you're surrounded with students to show you how the love and everything, the support they have been. So I want to ask you, as one of the Baggy icon and as a lecturer, what parts do you have to play in the education sector of Baggy people?
Well, I think I shouldn't say it. I think you have just summarized it. If my students like it means I have done so much, isn't it? But good news. I am the chairman of Baggy Scholars Global Network. This was started about 3 years ago, and it wasn't registered for 2 years. Now we have registered it, and I'm hitting the ground running. I have tried over the years to harness Baggy students, to have a focus that will ensure the sustainability not only of our culture, but of the Baggy effort in nation building. It will also interest you that I am the convener and founder of the Global International Students Organization of Baggy students. This is the way that I think I can make a contribution to ensure that whatever thoughts and ideas that I have, I deposit in the younger generation, so that if I do not have enough time to actualize them, they will take it, reflect on it, play with it, and then maybe improve on it and get bigger.
Sir, sorry, as a lecturer, like we've been hearing encouragement of go to school, and Baggy in the school, you understand? So, and then you see that most times we don't tend to get admission, like sometimes the community, it's hard to
No, I'm not an awardee. I am a guest speaker. I think this issue is long overflogged. This is because you find out that we occupy the same space, very many people, and with few lecturers at the university where I teach, one can only do so much. But I'm grateful to God that I have the kind of visibility that enables me to do a little above the average lecturer and to get our people in. There are many students here, many gentlemen and of course ladies who graduated from Nasarawa State University that I never met when they were in school. I never met them. But in occasions like this, they approach me and they said, you give me admission. I'm really very happy. So I don't even know how much I've done, but all I can say is that I'll keep doing my best.
By the internal cohesion and unity will be advanced to God's glory. By the communal nature, by Shazan Kamata Waishi, unifying Najay, Amma, She, Admitaba, Lefi, Yelava, Sumwama. When I raise your attention, a few efforts not push enough for unity. When it comes up there, my not card for by the union as a Pachelo, Jamia Bali, Basitamupiam, Basi, Potam, 1954, and it touched me so much that there was a union across by inland. And 1979, Your Honor, sir, you were leading our people there. Then we know. Without going, they might embarrass when you a mouse at time in the way inside. As a about playing a mouse at times. But we unity, publishing, advertising. Who knew Nigeria on 30th January 1979? Unka by on New Nigeria publishing paper Northern Nigeria say the New Nigeria number 4022 of 30th January 1979 on the abduction of Bagi as a name for the Bagi ethnic group. What has become of that is another story. In the 1970s again, in the 70s, late 70s and early 80s, late Dr. Shoko Amali Mobila proposed the Bagi economic community. He wanted a community that has a Bagi economy in the 70s. How was suggested even the Asian Bank side 70s. 1990. Dr. Shakobe Shukari just proposed a foundation when we should secretary a Matigana Nightmare, there was a mentioned about me. Way back early 20s, she will carry idea by it with my loan. Because I know the large quality. They are formed large quality following. They are poor activities regime. How do I put I want to quality? Together, have carried what we was a machine, federal capital, now they support here. How do I put Amasa loba babu saseshi ni takpelo agbaji babu submission shi late Professor Mailafia about Professor Dogarai, recent memory. He will do succession and put submission to the coalition of national organization, September 2020. So our effort will not push it to the unity to work. And my opportunities, many that use change one. Yeah, give you a by the elders forum, not as school, before me, where she and the other woman, no, I am to GA calls on all operating body organizations in Nigeria and diaspora to key into the body elders forum or ambition of systematically involving an apex organization for the body nation comparable to other ethnic nationalities in Nigeria. That is the ultimate that we want to do with the body elders forum. We will start off with some problems, but we hope we'll get over them ultimately. The forum is open to all existing body groups for consultations. The forum is open to all existing body groups for consultations. You can read the secretary of the committee or the secretary of the executive as of now. I remunerated over Marcus Garvey's assertive and stimulating acknowledgement that a people is like a tree without roots. And I think this is the problem that we have. A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin and culture is like a tree without roots. And I think this is the problem that we have. Theophilus, we are leaving you with this assignment. You are a historian. Link up, and I know the work that you are doing all over. Link up and get us a standard work that can be acceptable academically, locally and internationally. We give you that assignment and we pray that you will deliver.
Today is the most anticipated program we've been waiting for all this while, like the first of its kind, MIGIN Award. So what do you have to say about this event?
Yeah, this is epoch, it's strategy, it's timely, and it's very, very strategic, and I'm glad this have come to fruition. Over the years, we've not had an avenue where the entire Gbagi across the world will gather, to be celebrated in this form. So for the organizers to have come up with this idea is laudable, and it's very commendable. And then, of course, as being the maiden edition, there are maybe one or two flops, but then I give it out to the organizers for putting up a very wonderful show, and then be very, very strategic with this event. And so also to the awardees who are, as I went through the list, they are all deserving. There are persons who have made mark in the sounds of time. Their achievement is indelible. It's visible. Most of the awards are 2 months, but that's how it should be. There is no time at which it will be late to honor somebody based on what he has affected people with. And so we congratulate the awardees, the recipients, and we pray for more of it.
Honestly, I'm thrilled. All kudos to the organizers of this event. The MIGIN, is it MIGIN? Yeah. Good, they've done a good job. Just like you said, it's the first of its kind. So we're glad we are here. Yeah.
All right, Ma, one last question. There is an adage that says, when you build a woman, you build the nation. So what do you have to say, like, for the younger generation, like me now, for the younger generation, the younger baggy women coming up for, yeah. So what do you have for us?
Yeah, this is a right step in the right direction. You know, the youth coming up, the children coming up, they need to be attached, you know, and identified with their culture. This is a step on the right direction. They need to know more about their culture. So this is a kind of a unifying, you know, factor or way of bringing people together so that we get to know about our identity. As I'm a big learn to come below Diama, put it in me, Gilom, to Yenuke, Machi, Azabaji program, Machi Bagama Woode, Nyai Baba Gamanay, Tigabaku, Bashavelo Baye, Putnu, Yazakweji, Itami Yashi Azakwe, Beijing, Amade Kujiferin, by Yina Bakuchi, by Wodenu, Bakuchi, a Yabi Babelana V, Itaza, a Yukunamu, Naya Kunubaniji, Kuma, Fiat Nef Bakuye, with Nala Maja Bubri, by Yaje Makuge, Koyabi Babena V, Yaba Lefioku, if you Kunaban, Nakbaja, Jina, we, Fiakupaje, Abel Luna Yugokunu. If you buy Jimbo no Mafia, or if you that would take away Jukolai, if you could get a book, look why you won't naga Jukolai. Nine Bakuchige, Medin, Mache, Yabi, Wa, Bakuji, by Gileni, Machibagama, Wode, Mupulaka, Basaya Munichi, and my will be Bagnage, Dole Yachibagay, I would don't buy Yabili, Shiba and Yabili, Yazakwe, Bakuji, Sapa.
Having heard the call of God to come into full-time Christian service, Panga studied at Cairo Vernacular Bible Training School from 1946 to 1947. In 1949, he accepted the challenge to become a missionary among his people, the Bagi. In Sarkin Power, Niger State Province, the northern part of Nigeria, to teach them Bible. His desire to God's mission worked continuously. It grew. He returned to Cairo in 1951 and I was admitted to Cairo Bible Training School for additional training in 1952. In 1954, he was called Equa Church in Cairo to become a pastor, starting in 1957 and was licensed and ordained in 1960. We have so much that Baba has done and we can't read everything out, so we'll just take the award. Thank you.
Please put your hands together for this award. We declare to be received on behalf of our Daddy, Royal Highness Pharmacist, Papa, So, it's a privilege that featuring Wega Zabori Award. Guess here I want to congratulate you and Kumaya Body and sacrifice in Baba Mesh and Kuma Woko example Ati Zagei and Azafori Che Owo sacrifice Konanya Zahagei Yina Shukoi Buba Nadede. Congratulations, sir. And Kuma Shukubachi Gaba Wega Tekua the family Nasara. Congratulations, sir.
The church meaning of empire in Bagi district. The Bagi people also called the Wari people of the outside and one of the largest ethnic group in central Nigeria. They are found in 5 states. I will just skip here. She played a major role in contributing to the development of the evangelical church meaning all Women Fellowship in Nigeria, association with daily missionaries and people led to the commission of the Women Fellowship, of which she became the leader. She did a lot and we are grateful to lead Mrs. Sarah Daudu.
I'm also honored to present this award again to my mommy. Mommy, congratulations, Mama Balaji example guy. Kumabeya what went to Mama Bay way kilometers of kilometers went to Shukwe. Yes, Gaila wedding, Mama Boku sacrifice Asia, and Kuma, you could get one niche back with the baby. Mommy, congratulations, congratulations. Shokobata, welcome.
Never really had a united front actually in pursuing our plight, and I strongly believe that the only means we can actually get what we want is by coming together.
Was a remarkable figure whose life journey was punctuated by his deep devotion to music and his unwavering faith in Christianity. Born in the year 1937, referred from his Chaldean, his life is a testimony. His impact extended beyond just music. It touched the lives of countless individuals. His music has transformed. It has become a transformative effect, often overshadowing sermons at events and conferences. We are grateful, sir.
May my children, congratulations, sir. I really want to say one word. Samula Zuma. When I was growing up, that was the only music that were programming, and I virtually know almost all the songs. Mapa sanumbe maya yukwema jadu amachi shoko mamejina ba mami makaina karai inge Samula Zuma and Rugoma Gadi. They were the two people I had in my mind. And Kumafola congratulations, sir. Ila body in sacrifice if Baba Beji Kumash. He asa Baba view chain, but she sacrificed. Congratulations to Papa.
Kapo in Chikun local government of Kaduna State, attended early primary school, Kapuri between 1933 and 1979. Therefore, he is one of the pioneers of reggae music in Nigeria and first to produce an album using Western instruments. Also, he is first to produce a gospel movie in reggae and has an authorized academic books, a good number of journal publications, all this in addition to so many paper presentations at both national and international conferences. Thank you so much, sir, for your impact.
Congratulations, sir. I am so honored this day. Thank you, MIGIN, for this great opportunity. He is our icon, he is our role model, and he is a perfect and epitome of what gospel music is. Gospel music really is. If we were able to use an fine was 9 years, 9 was 9 years now, I'm 4 ways, you had that balance and the night, but his sacrifice has taught us what it really means to be gospel ministers. So we must have work, we must sacrifice the pushing, so we die in much, we must have work. Congratulations, sir.
Bad guys. Once again for the award.
attendant and later a pupil student. He is a man of foresight and vision. He led his people through the resettlement plan from Old Cairo to New Cairo, Nasarawa State, in line with Shehu Shagari's policy implementation. We are grateful because he is a visionary leader who put in all his creation, peace and development of Cairo local government.
Let's go. Most Influential Baggy in Nigeria Award 2023, Maiden Edition, Traditional Ruler Icon Award, in honor of His Royal Highness Ishaku Bulus Chitubo. Of your achievements and contribution that positively changed the face of the Baggy Nation in Nigeria. We want to present this award to you, and we appreciate everything you've done, the role and the development you have brought to the community, and we want to say, more than just giving you this, we are proud of you, and your legacy are going to live on and continue to be an example to us all. Thank you.
Unfortunately, I may not be able to continue that way. It may be very difficult for me to continue without mixing baggy English and all that. Let me first of all thank God for the opportunity given me to be part of this very, very, very important event today. And to thank the officials of this group for inviting me and for inviting all of us for this very important occasion. Today is a day of recognizing the contributions of our leaders past, and some of us living, towards the advancement and development of the Baggy Nation and indeed the country at large. This is the first of its kind that is happening, particularly with respect to those that have toiled in bringing the Baggy Nation to where it is today. It is indeed a memorable day. If you look at the array of all those that have been honored today, you will see that they left imprints in various spheres of our national development and the development of the Baggy Nation. A few moments ago, they read out to us the categories of the awards that have been given today, right across those within the religious frame, political, business, and all fields. I think this is very, very, very commendable. The essence of history is to keep a record of where we are coming from. And that is what this group is doing today. I'm not sure if we have a proper documentation of the course of the Baggy Nation development. I'm happy when George Koche was talking here, I had him give an assignment to this group to see how we can work and come up with what I would call an authentic history of the Baggy person. For those of you that are close to me, you will realize that I hardly give public interviews in my palace talking about history of the Baggy people because I'm not convinced that we have an authentic, well-documented history of the Baggy. And if you say something and that phrase or that story is documented, you have very little opportunity to change it. And therefore, even now I have tasked my title holders, I'm sure Tunki is here, that we must employ our academicians, our historians, and all stakeholders. We must be able to bring up the true history, representative history of the Baggy people. Then we'll be able to talk about it. And the earlier we do it, the better. Because people write histories that touch on the Baggy people, and if you read some of them, were heavily misplaced, were misrepresented in some of the things that are written. And it's difficult. You see, when books are written and they are documented, very little opportunity is there to change the narrative. So let me again throw this challenge to the Baggy people who are in the academics and all stakeholders. We must take this up very, very seriously. And as I was saying, the essence of history is to have a record and appreciate those who have brought us where we are today. And of course, that will also give us guidance and give us direction as to how we can forge ahead and build on the various legacies that they have left for us. I believe that this is just the maiden edition, and in the subsequent years, I think the event will be more informative and more participatory. And at the end of it, I think we can straighten the history and the narrative of the Baggy people in this country. So let me once again commend you for organizing this. And I want to enjoin all of us to see how we can support this very important, this brave initiative that this group of young men have taken up upon themselves. We must support them because if they succeed, it is our success. And it's the success of the Baggy nation as a whole. So I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of this. Unfortunately, I have to leave right away. But I have seen in the program that's the place for launching of the magazine. I will send my donation for the launch of the magazine through one of my title holders. So I wish you all the best, and I pray that God will lead you to a successful event.
The former ambassador of Nigeria to Gambia, my elder sister, Ambassador Esther Abdu. Good to see you again. Honorable Commissioner, Federal Public Complaints Commission, our mandate secretary, area councils, mandate secretariat, the organizers of this occasion, my brothers and sisters from all over Nigeria, our able youths, our royal fathers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I want to apologize for coming late. I was awoken this morning by a challenge at Kefi at my university that I needed to sort out, mainly because I wasn't there. A few things were going wrong. Today being my busiest day in the university, I had to take time to try to resolve the problem. So I really apologize for coming late. I want to thank also the organizers for this thought-provoking venture. It's thought-provoking because not many people have the opportunity to get by their lives without get by their lives knowing their heroes. 2 years ago, the Abuja Archives invited me to talk about national heroes. And one of the things that I told that we should make, because in Nigeria we prefer to emphasize the negative than the positive. And so in the process of discussing our problems and our calamities, we forget our heroes. It is important that we take time once in a while to reflect, project the works of our heroes past, so that we will get the steam, the encouragement to move forward and to keep on keeping on. So for me, it's quite a great honor to be maybe the first guest speaker at the MIGIN Awards, and I consider it a very humbling opportunity which I don't take for granted. I congratulate all awardees for getting into the honors roll, not of MIGIN, but of the entire Bangi nation. Because when history is written, there's no way anyone will ever skip you. No one will skip you. So you have earned a golden spot, in the tabloids of the heroes and heroines of the Bangi race. For this reason, I thank you, the organizers, for the initiative, and I thank you, I congratulate the awardees for earning this credit. Finally, let me say that this opportunity enables our young people to aspire to be like the role models that are presented to them through this award. Because as the citations are being read, or as you are going to eventually read it by yourselves in the magazine, there will be things that will touch you and that will motivate you to aspire to the heights of your role models or even do greater. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I approach this task with a philosophy that the time for lamentation is gone. The time for lamentation is gone. I'm no longer comfortable discussing unity in the Bangi nation. For what? Why? If we're here celebrating our heroes and our heroines, why should we be lamenting about the lack of unity among the Bangi people? Let me say that in the entire nation, and I want anyone to contradict my assertion. In the whole of Africa, there is no resilient ethnic entity like the Bangi entity. There is none. And I'm serious about it. This is what makes me very proud to be a Bangi man. With the onslaught of political antagonism, with the onslaught of socio-economic deprivation, with various forms of attacks, with different forms of manipulations, just to ensure that we are taking advantage of this set of people in the heart of central Nigeria have remained turgid, they have remained strong, they have remained resolute to assert their identity and to remain the block of people that
remain baggy. Why should if they have our kind of challenges, they will disseminate completely. But here we are, one solid block, one people in a nation called baggy. So the topic given to me has been overflown by events, and I want to create the indulgence of this audience to permit me to introduce a different issue. The issue of ethnic unity is as much concern for the Baggy as it is for other ethnic groups. The point that needs to be made in this regard is that we have come a very long way. We have made great strides and we have achieved so much that we are yet to celebrate. As a matter of fact, what we are today is because of the great sweats, the great efforts of our forefathers. Said, I have a dream, and that dream came to pass in Barack Obama. So, my brothers and sisters, that we have survived the onslaught of rapid social change, political manipulation and sectarian crisis in our respective community makes us highly deserving of communication. And like the leader would say, if no one praises me, I praise myself. Against all odds, we have retained a strong sense of identity. Our political sophistication has improved and grows by the day. While we have an astronomical rise in school enrollment at all levels, it is often important to know that we have detached from the old mentality of dependence to self-sufficiency. As I speak right now, I have a record of more than 50 Baggy students that are studying abroad on private colleges. When it occurred to me to organize, to try to check if we have Baggy students really abroad, I made one contact, and that contact led me to another contact. And before I knew it, I had a herd of students. And so I organized a virtual meeting with them and started asking, how did you get there? Say, my father sponsored me. My father sponsored me. Not on scholarship, they said, not on scholarship. But good news, they have this great ambition to return to their various communities and make the impact that has never been seen in the east of Nigeria and among the Baggy people. We have an avalanche of scholars who have great reputation both within and outside Nigeria. As I speak, there is a professor from Ghana who is one of the founders of a private university here in Abuja, Nigeria. Can you imagine that? Congratulations. So when people tell me eternal xylem, you know, I cringe. I just cringe. Why? So I hope that by the end of this engagement, we will begin to think more positively and will aspire for the heights that is meant for us to attain. We also have captains of industry who have made great contributions to the productive sector and the gross domestic product of our nation. Our brothers and sisters in the media have also made significant contributions to the Baggy Renaissance. While saluting our heroes past, I salute the gallantry of Baggy youths nationwide. In the late 70s, Baggy youth under the aegis of Pampoko Development Association became the strongest civil society organization in central Nigeria. And these people faced the government of the day in Niger State to redeem the rights of begging people. And they could not be caged, they could not be intimidated. You know, despite several threats of arrest, these people kept on until they achieved their goals. And I bless the memory of late Mr. James Daga for that. In Kaduna State, the ability of black elders and youths to take grip of a substantial part of the city is highly commendable. As a matter of fact, I do not see any ethnic group that would face the kind of threats to annihilation like the Bagi people, who will bounce back and take what belongs to them. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is what has happened in Kaduna State. So today we have the highest grade of chiefdom in Kaduna State, and by the struggles of our young people in Kagamo, we now have Nata chiefdom. Would you say this achievement would be possible without unity? Certainly not. Certainly not. In Nasarawa State, the Bagi kingdom has been experiencing systematic balkanization and is overwhelmed by unprecedented urbanization, thanks to the enlightened leadership of Esufara that ensures a peaceful approach to addressing these challenges. At the FCT, the Bagi have led the vanguard against political exclusion and expansion of governance space for our people and their neighbors. And thank goodness we have Honorable Ezekiel that happened here with one of the good soldiers. One who qualifies as a hero from amongst the youth. We now have Lawrence, Honorable Lawrence People's Gertie, who is one who had been working on the ground for a very long time. My contact with him dates back very many years. He probably was not very loud, but I know that he made so much effort to ensure the growth of the Bagi nation, and he tried to secure a space for young people. And today they have been handsomely rewarded on our behalf for this effort. I remember when I called him to congratulate him, having had a few things, of course, some resentments from our people. Some resentments from our people. You know what I told him? I said, hold down. It was like he was expecting that from me. He quickly retorted, power, now what idea. So this is the thought that our young people are made of. You know, without strength, without courage, they will not traverse these obstacles to the point that they have attained right now. The Bagi narrative has significantly improved by the large number of educational, entertainment, cooperative and professional groups that have sprung up in the last 3 decades in Nigeria. Fellow Nigerians now appreciate our story better because they are hearing it from us. In the past, we allowed people to tell our story, and that is why each time they told us our story, each time we allowed them to make comments about us, it affected us psychologically. But as soon as we took over the government and said, you can't continue to misrepresent us, we have our own story to tell. For instance, Honorable Ezekiel Dahato, would go to EFCC and say, this is the story of my people. This is the story of my people. He would go to the army headquarters and say, this is the story of my people. Honorable Lawrence already has caused the FCT administration the kind of sense of responsibility. I took long to process the use of my word. The development of the sense of responsibility for the rural populace, our people who drink water with animals in the river, in streams and rivers. The lack of good roads or lack of access roads completely at all. He has not caused the new Honorable Minister of the FCT to consider building rural roads. Please, let's give them a big round of applause. I'm using them as examples because this is what we can see. There are many of you that are making efforts behind the scene. There are many of you who are actually their pillars, that give them courage, that push them on, that enable them to keep on keeping on all the time. You may not be known one day. You may be acknowledged one day. What matters is not that you are brought to the public glare. What matters is that you have made a contribution to the development of your people. So I am really highly delighted that we have made progress in advocacy and the instigation of positive social action. Ladies and gentlemen, we can make progress moving forward. We can make better progress moving forward. Now, in view of all this that I have said, I want to call your attention to what we should be thinking about. And so, my proposal is how to set an engagement agenda. If we are going to move forward, then let us set a new agenda for engagement. Because truly, we have arrived. We cannot be on the spot and then think that we are behind. We are right on the spot. The issue is, what is the agenda that we've got? What is the agenda that suits us? Ladies and gentlemen, one of the agendas that we must pursue is how we can sustain the unity and the progress that we have made as a people. The second agenda that we need to set and to set quickly is to identify our friends and to fraternize with them, because we have many people who sympathize with us, we have many people who support us, not just in the FCT, in Kaduna, in Kogi, in Nassau State, and everywhere that we have been placed by God. Let us identify our friends. Let us work with them. Let us set this agenda, because it is going to take us forward. The third agenda that we need to set is the agenda of cultural renaissance and language development. And in fact, that is already right. Because go to Facebook and you see the many groups that represent different aspects of our cultural heritage. it appears to some elders sometimes that these young people are just wasting their time. No, you have placed us on the map, and for this, I thank you. Right now, baggy attire is hot cake. I was at a function at the International Conference Center. And a lot of people, who was it that was wearing baggy attire? During the time, she entered, elegantly, and in fact she was doing catwalk, because she wore baggy attire. And right now, I think a textile industry is developing. We must not let that go. We must not let that go. I want to tell you also that there is significant effort, to codify baggy language, baggy and baggy grading. There is a great effort right now. As a matter of fact, we are in talking terms with the National Educational Research Council on how to develop baggy orthography beyond alphabets to written words that would enable us offer subjects in tertiary educational institutions in baggy language. You think we would have achieved this without unity? No. Yes, there are problems from time to time. We offend ourselves from time to time. But everyone does anyway. Everyone does. So let's celebrate our achievement and determine that we will break barriers, we are going to surmount obstacles and be the best of what we ought to be. Now, the other agenda that we need to set is how to improve livelihoods of our rural brothers and sisters. We must expand the scope of earning for them. The era where we promoted independence, whereby we encourage people to come to our doorsteps every morning to greet us, to hero worship us, so that we give them peanuts, is gone. If you perpetuate that, then I tell you will never grow. So why don't we promote commonwealth? Excuse me, brothers and sisters, why don't we do that? Let us creatively engage our rural brothers and sisters through community-based organizations to microcredit facilities. Let us organize them in cooperatives and ensure that those who lead these organizations have integrity so that there will be accountability all the time. We have Sweden here, but how many of us are with Sweden? Small and medium scale enterprises. How many of us are there? How many of our people are actually benefiting from microcredit facilities in microfinance banks? How many of our people are in the Bank of Credit and Commerce and Industry? So we must be deliberate, and this challenge is to the elite. We must set an agenda. I want to encourage our young people, because you have the advantage of age to begin to fish for employment in international development agencies. We want you to learn the secrets of the Americans. We want you to learn the secrets of the Europeans. We want you to learn the secrets of Asians. We want you to learn the secrets of the Arabs. We want you to learn the secrets of the Israelis, because there is a daunting task to be performed in the long run. If you are able to give between 5 and 10 years, brothers and sisters, let me tell you what is going to happen. You will come back and you will take the land. And there will be no governance in Nigeria that will be as credible as that, because it is born out of an intentional effort at agenda setting. Now, what agenda should we set? What agenda, other agenda should we set? Excuse me. We must pay attention to gender issues. Now, the truth is, I know that gender relations among the Gbagi in the past 50 years was one of the best to heritage. I do not know how it is right now. Very few Gbagi women complain about their husbands. I know there were divorces, I know there were fights, and so on and so forth, but it wasn't as prominent as we saw among our neighbors. There was synergy in child upbringing, and so boys and girls grew up in the family with great sense of cohesion, brotherly and sisterly love. Over time, rapid urbanization and social change has affected us as it has taken place is history. So let us document, let us preserve, and let us project in the clouds what we are doing, so that people will get to know who we are and what we are. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have told you all this because history has been kind to me, in the sense that about 2.5 years ago, I was appointed the chairman of Gbagi Scholars Global Network. This is a consortium of Gbagi scholars from all over the world. And yours sincerely has the honor to lead it. Now, when I was given this responsibility, so many things ran through my mind. You know, one was, can I do it? Two was, should I do it? Three, what will happen if I don't do it? Now, the answers were generated by me and consumed by me. After weighing myself on the scale, I said I will try. I will offer myself and we will propel this. Elder Rapomagati is the secretary of that network. Elder Rapo, where are you? Okay, he's the secretary of that. No sooner did we start, did we discover that we had just been lamenting for nothing. The number of Gbagi professors only that we have is alarming and is amazing. It's alarming and it's amazing. So, I am making a public pledge here that I commit myself to this agenda setting. Wow. And I'll be reaching out in different ways to you as individuals and groups, so that together we shall achieve collective dream of the Bagi nation. Will we ever have an authentic history of the Bagi people? History is relative, but we are challenged to continue to produce. My challenge to those who write history is not to project us in negative light. All right. For instance, I've heard in public places where people say, "Well, you know, the Bagi man is a peaceful man." Is because we, excuse me, we are not peaceful. If in the sense that you speak it, we are not peaceful in the sense that anybody can come and take our food and run away. No. What I know, and which has been corroborated by the honor of Abadi, is that we have occupied our respective places in central Nigeria for over 3,000 years without any defeat. So how can somebody come tomorrow to tell me that because we were neighbors with, I won't mention names, okay, that they came and took us as slaves, and the reason why we are where we are is because they have refused to grant us autonomy. Come on, no. My history tells me that we have been, and on the direction of the writing of the history of the Bagi people. This will stand against me if I don't do anything about it. God bless you. You can do better than this. You can do better.
is an auspicious award of recognition to our late father who is still living, late Honorable Amos Bays Ndakula, as a political icon, posthumous. And here with me is the wife, our mother, who has also taken over from him and deserves to receive this award on his behalf. And so the award is deserving to this family because late Ndakula has so much trees that he has planted across the Sahara, not just Africa but worldwide. And so we congratulate you as you receive this award on behalf of the most influential Baggy Indigenous Award. Congratulations.
Thank you. A round of applause, please. A round of applause, please. Any representative?
This one is personal to us all in FCT. It's our mother that actually done so much and have made a lot of facts for us as the people of FCT. Most influential Baggy in Nigeria Award 2023. Maiden Edition. Political Icon Award posthumous in honor of late Mrs. Jumae Aduda. I present this award to you.
Welcome Dr. Mabinas Rachel to the MIGIN Award of Happiness.
This award is unique. If you have a history of our mother, the former commissioner in Nasarawa State, Women Affairs and Social Development, when Abla was governor of Nasarawa State. Mother was mother in cold blood, was standing in for the people of Baggy. And so that's why I say this award is unique because the memories are fresh in our hearts. She deserves even more than this. But this is just to symbolize how much the Baggy is honor her. And even in her death, let her know that the people of Baggy, this organization loves her so much and revere her commitment towards the development of Baggy. So congratulations for this deserving award. Thank you.
Thank you. Round of applause. ONORT. Welcome back to the stage. A round of applause, please. Round of applause for that.
I will have protested or even write an official complaint if I was not to be the one to present this award to her, because I find it a very rare privilege to present an award to one woman that have defined herself and have distinguished herself among her equals. In fact, I will say we have, it's a disservice to Ambassador Esther Audu that she's not today occupying the highest political position in the FCT. But we know that nothing happened without God's plan and His time. At the appropriate time, she will occupy the position she coveted in her heart. Why does she deserve this? Because of her contributions, because of her doggedness, because of her resilience to write the name of Bagi in the map, especially as it concerns FCT and Nigeria at large. Your legacies are visible and fresh in the sands of time. And so giving you this award is just to say, Mama, we recognize all you have done to Bagi quotas and sons. Today, some of them are at the federal level and all spheres of life can see what you did. Congratulations once again, and this is just to recognize the good works of yours. Congratulations for a deserving award.
We can do better. Let's clap for her for her many achievements.
A round of applause once again for Honorable Commissioner, our fathers and uncles, my friends and brothers, ladies and gentlemen, and also the media present here. I greet you all. I must say that I'm really excited to be here, to be part of this program, and also part of this historic awards. I am very, very happy, simply because I have been somebody who has been very passionate about our culture, especially the Bagi culture. If you know a bit of my history, you'll realize that I am the person who initiated Gariki Carnival that later synchronized with other carnivals across that led to the creation of Bagi Carnival, which was a carnival that brought together 5 Bagi-speaking states. That also didn't end there. I am also part of those who have co-initiated Miss Bagi Nigeria. I had also worked alongside with my sister, Mrs. Sarah Tukura, to organize the very first National Bagi Summit. This is amongst many other things that we've done. But I must say, and also note, because my uncle and daddy, our prof that spoke here, mentioned a couple of things that we have done. I must also say it here, that the real heroes who are actually getting this award are those invincible heroes. Each and every one of us that have been putting so much to the plight of the Bagi people, even if you're not recognized here, I will just tell you that there is no award that is greater than the award that comes with self-satisfaction of what you are actually doing. Just to mention, before resigning as executive director of Atachi Cultural Advocacy Initiative, we had done some laudable projects that has to do with the Bagi people. Atachi, under my leadership, worked alongside about 11 professors, late Professor Melathia, Professor Andrew Zamani, Barrister George Koche, Clement Wasa, Bishop Maje, Dr. Mida Pali, Dr. Sheko, and many other likes. And what we were doing is that I was curious. I was just sharing with my big brother and my uncle here, Honorable Commissioner. I told him that my quest to see that the Bagi move forward and become one of the most influential culture in sub-Saharan Africa would not quench and would keep running. And we started our work at Atachi by researching on the symbol and pattern of the Baggy people. And some of the findings we have might mess with your senses and might mess with what you already know. I know here for sure that we believe that the woman with kaba is our symbol. But what if I tell you that she's not our symbol? It is just a way of life. We are not the only culture that carries load on the shoulder. And I asked some of the professors then when I was trying to prove to them that this is why she is not our symbol. But of course, a way of life, just same way the Fulani people hold stick in their shoulder. Because we also have the Baggy man holding an arrow and a bow. I asked the honorable commissioner, I said, if she is our symbol, what is she wearing? If she is our symbol and she wears an attire, what is she wearing? If she is the symbol and the snapper, what then becomes the symbol? Now, the reason is because the Baggy culture has been laid back by this simple solution. And the solution is that as a culture, we say, Aje Sunda. Aje in Baggy means what? Clothes. Sunda means what? Something knitted. Now, what if I tell you that we are entitled to every color and every material? We're entitled to materials such as lining, polyester, silk, so on and so forth. But what makes any attire ours is the symbol that comes on it. This is a research that we hope to launch. I hope when the new executive secretary, new executive director comes up, we're going to discuss this. And the reason is because this has potential to actually unlock our architecture, our fashion, and also influence the world around us. The Baggy actually do have our own symbols and patterns. And it might interest you that some of these symbols and patterns are found around you in your local homes. I'm doing this for two reasons. Number one reason is that the Baggy culture needs to be documented, archived, and also promoted outside the shores of the country, so that we can also influence what is happening in states today. That if every tribe can emanate the Baggy culture, we would not be having the national security threat that we're currently experiencing in this country. And I tell you, there is no tribe in the history of Nigeria that have taken as much as the Baggy people have. That is number one. Number two, we want to document this history so that we can create a clear succession plan in our traditional council institution. When we lose a traditional leader, we are faced with a lot of challenges. Who takes over? Who takes over? And I believe that we can achieve that through history. I have spoken with my brother here, Mr. Theophilus, Dr. Theophilus, that we should look into this and see how, as a secretariat, we can also come in to support this cause of documenting the culture, in the Baggy culture in FCT. And that, I think, is something we're able to achieve within now and 24 months that is actually coming. So I really want to appreciate everyone for making it here. Thank you very much. And for the magazine, we are going to be launching the book for 200,000. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yakubu Verde is a House of Representative member in Chukwu, Kajuru, Kaduna State. In Jesus' name. He has been a figure and a force representing the Baggy race in Kaduna State. He has touched so many lives. I'm sure that's why the organizers deem it fate to give him this award. I must applaud the organizers for picking our brothers and sisters across the 5 states for the award. I therefore present this award to Honorable Yakubu Barde for his commitment towards the development of the Baggy race. Congratulations.
A round of applause. We have two more awards to be presented by the MC before we review the magazine and take the last crop of.
Okay, for the magazine, the magazine with 100,000 naira.
Once again, I have the honor and privilege to present this award to the Professor Philip Dagba Shekwelu. His indelible marks, his achievements, his quest to ensure that the Baggy race has come on educationally in Niger State and across the nation is very loud, very, very loud. For people who know, we are sincerely proud of you, and I have the honor and privilege to present to you this award as a philanthropist and a grassroots educationist for the development of Baggy race entirely. Congratulations, sir.
Celebrating Baggy finances.
I'm sure you are only doing it in the room. You can't get out to service side. Again, as I said, it's another unique award. Just few people have the privilege of rising to this level and are still standing tall, healthy, happy, and alive. So for us to have one of our own risen to this level of echelon of his career, that's why the organizers have thought it wise to award you for standing tall among your people. Congratulations for this auspicious award.
me la retire me ji we mo la fi ai ma ka be asa je fi lo soja agbaji ma je fi lo soja ita ko ba ile na agbaji ama ba be lo don ba te ti lo e ta ji mi ji agbaji no so agbaji fi lo soja shala ma ga o ko ni ge e ya su ìmáyéjì báyìí sàtẹ̀rọ ó bá lọ north east wọ́n ti bó mú báyìí àti owó pátákàtà nígbà ìdíjì báyìí tẹ̀rọ ó bá lọ Yorùbá kí àti owó pátákàtà kò ní ìdíjì báyìí tẹ̀rọ ó bá lọ àìbò kí àmọ́ àìbò lọ àwọn ìdíjì ṣe sàtìkẹ̀tì náà bí kọlọ́lọ́dún ṣẹ́yìn ṣáyẹ̀ omi àtàlákú sójà tàyé tìlẹ̀ yìí fi àyẹ̀ lórí fẹ́mi nítorí náà nítorí bá wà pàtàkì àjọba yìí ti fi àdákùbà sí ìmọ̀ yìí fi nàbàyè àbí bàbá balẹ̀ sójà under FCT na Adjunct State ìyá àwọn ènìyàn. Round of applause for you. So, and then the motto for this, what they want to achieve is recognizing legends and honoring excellence, inspiring the next generation. And so the book is a 80 pages of 80 pages. Sorry, the magazine is of 80 pages. And then page 1 is talking about the content of the magazine and also the publication, the publishers, and also the crew that are caring
Page 2 to 13 is about portrait of persons, personalities. They are all there. And also talking about the Bali people and what we are known for is contained in all there. Page 14 talks about the introduction of this magazine and also talking about what they want to achieve as an organization. The table of content is on page 17. And also page 18 has their mission and vision. Some of the many pages is for the awardees, their citation, their biography and all of that. We have some articles on some of the pages like page 42, there is an article by David, and then there is another article by one Elizabeth also in the magazine. There are so many historical perspectives and then issues that has to do with the history of the Bali in general. In conclusion, just like I said, the magazine, yes, it's a magazine, but it's very, very rich with content. And I will implore all of us to have a copy. In fact, if they sell it for 20,000, 50,000, it's cheap as far as I'm concerned. Because there are so many things you can't just get. If you have to spend money to go get biography about Indabula or Ambassador Esther Audu or Aduda's mother, is a whole lot for you. But they have encapsulated all of this in the magazine. So yes, looking like a magazine, but very, very rich. And I recommend for all of us to have a copy. Thank you and God bless you. Launch, pick the copies. I don't know who is chief launcher, so I don't intrude. Okay. The chairman of Kuje Area Council, Kwale Area Council, my bosom friend, we got talking and I told him about this, said we have reached out to him. So he has asked me to stand in for him. And so I will just stand in for him. I will pick copies and also make commitments which I will immediately transfer based on his directives. So myself and him are launching 10 copies, but whatever amount I call, you should know that his own will be more than my own in that money. And I wouldn't want to separate it. So, but we are making available the sum of 500,000 naira immediately. So, I will get the account number available and then I will transfer same. So, I will just briefly assist them and then I will take my seat. Since I have done my own, our mother is here. All the awardees will also to just present briefly. The next 5 minutes we'll be done with that. Then we'll come back table by table. We'll pick up the magazines. So please give us another 5 minutes. Professor Andrew Samani, in company of Miss Bali Nigeria, that's no other person but Miss Ruth Shiro. Please put your hands together for her. On our list we have late Professor Arua Mafia Filaba to be received by his son architect Suleiman Melafia Arua. Please put your hands together for him. MIGIN Awards, celebrating Ghana finest.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I present the award, let me recognize Professor Philip Sheforo, actually never met him, and that was why I didn't mention him as a member of the governing board of the Bagi Scholars Global Network. This is a leader, and we are always very, very proud of him. While others thrive in controversy, the man says, let's look forward. Let's look forward. It's a pleasure to meet you formally this afternoon, sir. Welcome. Thank you very much. It's quite a privilege to be the one to present this award. It's also emotional for me because we worked together. We were together at the last Senate meeting before his demise. And I remember that when he walked into the Senate meeting, he looked for me and came and sat by me. And I said, Bros, why are you stretching yourself? You're not well. You know, you should have rested. He said, this is what makes me well. You know, to be amongst my people. So it was a great delight to have him by my side for that meeting shortly after he left. There were three of us at the time, professors, many professors at the University of Kefi. Late Professor Dogara Gwamna was Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences and also Chairman Committee of Deans. And then we had Professor Arua Melafia Filaba, who was head of history during the deanship of Professor Gwamna, and thereafter was moved to the postgraduate school as deputy dean of the School of Postgraduate Studies. At that time, I was dean of social sciences. So we were making impact, and it was just going to be a matter of time. The world will hear us. Unfortunately, one by one, they left home and left me alone. So, I'm happy that history has not forgotten him. I am happy that he has left a landmark. I am happy that Architect Suleiman is standing here representing his siblings to see what hard work does and to reap the benefit of the contributions of his father to Bagi motherland. So this is an academic award of excellence, posthumous, in honor of Professor Arua Melafia Filaba, in recognition of his achievements and contributions that have positively changed the face of the Bagi nation in Nigeria. Congratulations. I thought you were assistant. Okay.
Danjuma S. Barge, blessed Lord, to be received on his behalf by Prince Dima Chokobuza Zamai Buhari. Please put your hands together for him.
The late Sadbagi represents togetherness. He was the first to head the chiefdom of Bagi people in Kaduna State. and he did it with such honor and candor that even when the seat was threatened, rather than us lose the chiefdom, I think we consolidated with the chiefdom. May God bless his soul. And so, on behalf of MIGIN Awards, I am pleased to present the traditional ruler icon posthumous awards in honor of His Royal Highness late Dr. Njuma Esberde MFR, in recognition of his achievements and contributions that have positively changed the face of the Bagi nation in Nigeria. Congratulations. The entire clan is here. Let's please give them a big round of applause. I'll just say two things about our late uncle. The first is that I was told that he was classmate to my late mother. You can imagine. He was a classmate to my late mother. And secondly, I want to say without any fear of contradiction that he's one of the best administrators FCT ever had. You are not celebrating your own. This should be resounding. When we lost him, a vacuum was really created. But thank God that he has left this much behind. I want to congratulate all of you for standing fast and standing strong to the extent that history is in his favor, and you are beneficiaries of that. It is going to go beyond this plan. It is going to give you several additional benefits to the glory of God. So on behalf of the organizers, I am pleased to present to you Civil Service Icon Award posthumous in honor of your late husband, Sabo Babo. Please, a round of applause for the last but not least. Music doesn't die, so your father lives on. Congratulations. As I see him in action, I just wish that we could do a documentary on him all over again. But you are here. You are his documentary. I want to congratulate you for that. Congratulations.
Please put your hands together for her as she received this award on behalf of her father. Music never dies. He lives on.
Normally, honestly, I don't like to do so, but because of the relationship and the history of the two families, that is the Sambani family and my family, the Ilgesu or this family, I had to come here to represent the family. So then, that is the original family of Kaduna have asked me to support this project with 50,000 naira. Thank you. Some of
just everyone ya kuko inayo aibaka kwetu bali ashakema sasa na tumo to adamu na mimi kwa asa amba kukai ashakare na mbele ya dia kai dia kai to dole kama tunapaswa
Please put your hands together for our mommy.
The organizers of this great event. I'm so touched because since I lost my husband in 1997, about 26 years ago, I am very, very sure that most people have forgotten about him. But today, we have brought him back alive. At the age of 29, he was a member of House of Reps, 1979, and a committee chairman of Federal Capital Territory. But I have never seen his name anywhere in the city. Nowhere else. Today, you have really touched my heart. That as people read from this magazine, they will remember Amos Idaba.
Amen.
And I'm sure those who are not baggies will now remember him and do something and do the needful.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
May God bless you all.
Amen.
I'm launching the magazine with the sum of 100,000.
Please put your hands together for our mommy. Your hands together for her.
Truly, when I came in here, I sat down quietly, and when I saw the names of the awardees, and I saw the departments, I said to myself, these people sat down to do a critical work. And when I saw those who have passed on, I saw that you remembered them. I felt very, very happy. Though you are young, I want to encourage you to continue. We are happy, we are proud of you. There is no project that will be started in Babylon that will not face problems. Usually, when you are discouraged, that is the end of it. So many projects have been started before, but they don't continue because of the challenges. But I'm happy you are young and you have passion to push on. So keep pushing. And when the MC said the awardees are not necessarily to contribute, except they want to. They said there's another aspect again. That's maturity. When you don't seek for it, it will follow you. So, I am a guy, but
so that I can do my little support for this project. I want to support this project, launching the magazine
15 copies with the sum of 200,000. Let's put your hands together for our
professors, Haiti was Musa Olivia, one of my mentor when I was growing up. I learned music through from Evangelist Robo Magaji. Please, can you put a round of applause for him, please? Amen. Everybody just sat down, nobody clap for me. More than clap for me at least. Yeah, I'm a son of the land. Anyway, we can give una Kaduna vibes. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Okay.
Smart Records.
Ladies and gentlemen, what now? Yeah. Yalla lima. Come to me, no far. Come down me, yeah. Come love me, Zaza, no, my boy, like what's I am. Come to me, no far. Come down me, yeah. Come love me, Zaza, no, my boy, like what's I am. You're quite what 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 I am. Amiba, Baida Mababa, Baizi Matakaga Bayalaga Mamia, Daddy say, but I mean Bonko Baizi Mabakulu Moda Bapia. You go figure, you're quite what I am. Oh, Mangafiji, you're quite what I am. Kumutanu wanu kumutuzo kono mukolo what I am. Kumutana janunu kumutana luvi mukolo go bagu mama. Oba bimbi minunga watawanye mubonga. Oba bimbi minunga watawanye mubonga. Kumuturu mi nufa, kumutana mi waye. Kumelo mi zaza no mukoya lage what I am. Kumuturu mi nufa. Come down me, waye. Come love me, Zaza, no, my boy, look at what I am. You're quite 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 what I am. What's up with that son? You go home and me, no. Ezi muziki no hoba hoshama zukulo. Sheila bana imi aidada wana kuchalo watami wayaza. Sheila bana imi amudada wana kuchalo watami wayaza. Shokwata watayama konyi wekuna watayi. Wanu baslo baguyaba. Wanu baslo wanu mai. Wanu baslo bajiya sama kwela go wakalai matamiya. Wanu baslo bajiya sama kwela go wakalai matamiya. Shokwaita watayam. Shokwaita watayam. Shokwaita watayam. Shokwaita watayam.
I can see the hall is empty. We are used to things like this where the program is about painting. On behalf of MIGIN, we want to thank all of you that left your homes and all other schedules to be here with us today. Our hearts is filled with joy because if not for all of you that came, we don't know how this event would have turned out to be. We are really grateful. This is the maiden edition. By God's grace, the next time we'll be hosting a program like this, we will make sure that it's bigger and more appreciative in nature. But with the little we've done today, we hope we're able to at least, if not satisfy some of you, because we are open for criticisms, please, we are open. And in case you know of any black man or woman that is somewhere doing wonderful things for the growth of our people, please, you can draw attention to me. Let's have their profile. Let's see how we can document them. And for those of us that have gone, if you know anyone that was here before us, we are also open to know those we don't know across the 5 Bagi states. We really want to thank you because we are grateful. We are indeed grateful for having you here. As you all go back to your various destinations, may God take you back safely. Thank you very much. Remain blessed.
With the magazine, and they are still here. Please, if you need their account number, which will be displayed on the screen, you can easily send the money there. Thank you so much for your time. Please rise for the national anthem.
It was so amazing that a lot of activities went on, launching a magazine review, award, and lots more. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this program. See you next time.